Welcome to Domestic Violence Against Men, Awareness and Prevention. This episode is for mature audiences only.
I don't know what y'all got going on in the comments. Whatever it is, just tread lightly. Please. You know, the engagement brings more people to the room, so it is good, but just tread lightly. You ready to come up, Nazir? Hop in the queue. Here we go.
What's up, bro?
What's going on, brother? You welcome to carry him up if you feel comfortable.
Comfortable, man.
Violence specialist for domestic violence against men. I give men all across the globe the opportunity to come on and express if they've ever been in any type of domestic violence situation of any sort. There is a big stigma when it comes to it with men, so we're just doing our work and making sure that we're bringing awareness to it. We do ask women if they've ever been in a situation where they harmed a man out of anger, so we could get to the bottom of that and get an understanding of what can cause women to be that way, so that hopefully some of us upstanding men can hold other men accountable for the things that they do, so that, you know, we can stop going at it with each other. You know, sometimes we just got to talk about these things, right? Once a month, we do give a woman the opportunity to come on and be interviewed and express if she's ever men that have been harmed physically. It can show them what they can end up turning into if they don't get healed properly from what they, you know, have been through in the past. A lot of men that don't get healed or take the proper, you know, steps that they need to get the help that they need in certain situations, they end up becoming violent themselves. They end up turning into their abusers. This happens. It happens with women. It happens with men too. You know, so that's why you want to make sure when you get out of a domestic violence situation, you want to take your breaks, right? You want to heal. You want to focus on yourself. You want to, you know, realize where you messed up, why you took the abuse, why you let your control go. You want to figure these things out. For the audience, sexual, provocative name or a dangerous name of any kind, any type of violence, you will be removed. Period. You won't be over here. I say this every time I get on here and do this. This is nothing new. Other than that, if y'all want to ask this man questions, he is on my live now. So, you know, go ahead, feel free, ask away. And yeah, y'all enjoy what's going on. All right, so how you doing, Mr. Nazir? What's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
I'm doing fine, man. I'm all right, man. You know what I mean? Got work in the morning time. Just got a new job, so, you know what I mean? So I'm good. You know what I mean? Doing all right. Nothing, I mean, everything is okay so far.
Okay.
Better than I thought it would be.
So, if you don't mind, could you give a short introduction of yourself?
Okay. Well, I tell my stories and tell my story and tell my life, little experience and stuff. I'm hoping that it opens a gate for people to just be more comfortable to be able to come up and tell their truths. Because I got me and him talk very deeply on the phone, so he know like this is a very special guy right here that I'm coming to talk for. This ain't the average person that I open up to talk for. You know what I mean? So I'm not here to bash women. I'm not here to say all women are the same. I just want you to know that there are women that are out there, and they could be cruel to men. Some could be even just unhealthy and toxic and dangerous. Just the same as men could be the same thing. It could be both either way. It could be other sex. So I just share my little story, and I mean, this ain't to demonize the women in my life, because sometimes the women in my life made decisions because they wasn't raised right. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna, you know what I mean, demonize these people. You know what I mean? Some of them, like I say, about maybe there's a couple of weird ass situations that ain't cool. You know what I mean? So maybe for, but if you feel free to ask me anything once I tell stories or whatever, be free to ask me. I'm open book. I have no problem sharing anything. You know what I mean? I ain't saying I'm perfect. No, I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? But I never beat on no woman, so that's one thing I can say. I mean, I'm gonna have that. I can say one time I had one bad episode. I didn't control myself because that situation had something to do with my kids. You know what I mean? Like, you play with man kids, I don't know. It turns me I turned to a bear when it comes to playing with my kids. So that's the only time I ever had an incident. Other than that, I never lost myself like that around women. I never took it upon myself to put hands on them or nothing. But I've been in situations that always been. So whenever you want me to, I'm finished with the introduction.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate that over here, brother. So I want to ask you a question, and that question is, have you ever been in a situation where a woman has ever physically caused harm to you out of possibly been harmed or harmed by someone else?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it far back.
Okay.
I told this story. I think I told this story on here before, and I think that people might have thought that it wasn't real, or might have thought that I was like it had something to do with you.
Okay.
But no, this is a true story. I'm gonna tell you. The story I'm gonna start the first time. I'm gonna go back to the first time I got of the influence of women paid domestic abuse towards men. I'm gonna take my very first incident. My very first incident when I was about 11 years old, maybe 12, maybe 12. But at that time, I was a kid. Anybody who knew me, any females, any women, they knew I was never no weird dude. They knew, I mean, I was just bad. I was a bad kid. I mean, I came from a bad background. I mean, my mom. So somewhere down the line, my life got so bad that the state said either I'm gonna come put him in foster care or your dad come get you. So when my father came and got me, I moved out. Years went on. I ended up being 11. I was like, my dad came and get me. I think about either 11. I think it was 9 my dad came get me. Right? Yeah, I was about 10. I said about 9 when my dad came get me. We had a relationship. I was a city kid. You know what I mean? I was a city kid that was just bad. Mom was on drugs, so there was nobody, no men, no women to regulate nothing. So at an early age, I was sexualized already at the early age. There was no parents, nobody to stop us from doing what we was. You know what I mean? So I was sexual. I started being sexual at the age of, as far as I can remember, probably about 7 years old. And I understood what bumping and grinding was and what touching. Because there was no adults. It was a drug world. Everybody was on drugs. So there was nobody that dared tell me right from wrong, tell me I was doing. I was never a guy who forced himself or ever was no predator or nobody. That's the number one thing. I never was that type of person. Okay? So I was always a punk when it comes to like girls. I mean, my sister used to beat me up. That tells right there and there. I was scared of my big sis. So I'm gonna speed up the story to the incident that happened, okay? Straight to the incident, the raw, uncut incident. Me, like I told you, I was a bad kid. I'm not gonna say I was a great kid, but I was a bad kid in a way of not listening to not doing things I was supposed to do, get in trouble in school. They could just call when I say rebellious, no. I was more, how you put it, I couldn't understand. Life came to me too fast as a kid.
Okay.
I give a prime example. When a kid learned criminal behavior at a young age, he started to have a criminal mind. So because of that, I had a bit of a criminal mind. Because when I was young, and the other one is a childhood friend to a family I'm real close to, even to this day. Neither one of these stories I'm telling that these dudes did anything wrong. Neither one of these guys. They're complete innocent, just as much as I am a complete innocent. So they did nothing wrong. So we come out to the game. Me, him. I'm gonna put the scene for you to understand. This is typical white America. This is a dominantly white school.
Okay.
The girls are white. The girls are white. Okay. So it's two of them. I'm not, at the time, I told you, my big sister, I was scared of my big sister, so I was scared of girls like that. I wasn't into the girls at the time. I was into the playing football and playing tag football. I was into that stuff. Kipple, Nintendo. I was that type of kid. I was never playing the woods, play fort. So girls was like icky to me at the time. They wasn't on my mind at the time. So my buddies, they was on that. So he just walks up. It's like, what's going on with y'all? And asked the girls, y'all cool and all this that. This is the black guy, two other black girls and two white girls. In a predominantly white area with most of the black people live right across the street. I don't want to say too much. I don't want nobody to be visualizing so too much. So that's what the scenery was. So he comes up, asks what's up. That guy did it. He did nothing wrong. That guy who came up, he did nothing wrong. He said nothing wrong, but he's part of the story too. That's why I have to bring him in.
Okay.
He's a very good friend of mine. So he comes up, asks us, we be all right. No, we cool. The dude's chilling. Asked the girls, they cool. No problem. They said nothing wrong. And the guy was somebody. He was no punk. He was really that dude. So he was somebody. If they had a problem with, they could have easily said something to him. He would have took care. He would have, he would have been the one to say something and step up. So, and he was an athlete. He's an athlete, a broker athlete. He just walks up. It's like, what's going on with y'all? And asked the girls, y'all cool and all this that. This is the black guy, two other black girls and two white girls. In a predominantly white area with most of the black people live right across the street. I don't want to say too much. I don't want nobody to be visualizing so too much. So that's what the scenery was. So he comes up, asks what's up. That guy did it. He did nothing wrong. That guy who came up, he did nothing wrong. He said nothing wrong, but he's part of the story too. That's why I have to bring him in. Okay. He's a very good friend of mine. So he comes up, asks us, we be all right. No, we cool. The dude's chilling. Asked the girls, they cool. No problem. They said nothing wrong. And the guy was somebody. He was no punk. He was really that dude. So he was somebody. If they had a problem with, they could have easily said something to him. He would have took care. He would have, he would have been the one to say something and step up. So, and he was an athlete. He's an athlete, a broker athlete. They was at the girls' bathroom. I walked in the girls' bathroom. I was like, y'all okay? But I was walking with them into the girls' bathroom. I didn't walk myself over the door. I was walking with them behind them, asking were they okay. And everything seemed like it was playful. Everything seemed like there was nothing wrong. I told you I was a naive kid. I wasn't thinking sexual, no nothing. I was just a naive kid. So I go over there. I'm like, so I asked them, they're okay. They like, yeah, the one girl's acting weird. The one girl that had nothing to do with it. This one white girl walked up, that had nothing to do with the situation at all, and said the word rape. And I was looking at them. I'm a kid. I have no idea what that shit is, or what the word is, or it meant nothing to me. So it didn't dawn on me nothing. So the girls said that, it still didn't dawn on me. So I went out with my friends and asked them, what's wrong with y'all okay, or what's wrong? I'm like, what the hell? And told them what the girl said. And they was like that. They took me my dad back home. I still have no idea what's going on.
So they didn't take you to juvenile. Okay, look. Would you mind if I interject from time to time, brother?
I don't mind, bro. You can interject anytime you want.
Okay, thank you. Because there's some things I want to clarify, so I'm not confused, or anybody in the audience not confused, even though they gonna be confused sometimes, regardless. But as far as me, I want to make sure that I'm up to speed with what you're talking about. So you didn't go to juvenile or anything. They took you straight to your father, correct? Okay. All right, you can continue. I digress.
Yeah, so he took me straight to my dad. So I went home, and cop got there. It wasn't nothing serious. I'm a kid. I get home, I'm scared of my dad. My dad whipped my ass and all that over there. I get my ass whipped and all that. Typical father shit, bust my ass. So the next day, it's still nothing transpired until like maybe 1 or 2 days. No, it was the next day. The next day, they called me to the principal office. I have no idea. Just me. Nobody else. Not my two friends. Nobody else. Just me. So I'm used to going to the principal office, so I'm thinking something bad. So they told me to wait, and when I get there, it's cops there. And I'm like, looking at them like, I'm not thinking that for me or anything like that, because I'm not a kid.
And how old are you at the time? You said you was 9, right?
11.
11, right.
11 years old. My dad comes and gets me. Comes there. And I still don't know what's going on. But 11-year-old kid. So I guess the cops was coming there, and I guess my dad met them there. They gave my dad charges, and like they arraigned me to go to trial. Go to court, not trial, but go to court. I'm still, as a kid, has no idea what's going on. No idea. Right? So I'm still a kid. They kicked me out of the school. So I go to court, right? And when I go to court, I'm sitting there, and the girls are going up there pump faking and crying and stuff. I'm still 11-year-old kid, like, why are they crying? And I'm looking at them like, I didn't do anything. Are they talking about me? Right? That's how lost I am. I don't know about the law. I don't know nothing about that. I was a kid playing with toys and running around with my friends playing football. I don't know nothing about that. So I'm like, but I know they're not, I know they're lying. And it's like, why they're lying on me and I never touched none of them or did anything? And it was like, why? And I was just stuck like, they never looked for the other people. They never mentioned the other guys. All they said was me because I already had, I was already a bad kid. So I was an easy target. I don't think the girl was.
There was no animosity between you and the girls to where y'all got into it about anything or anything. They just
nothing. Yeah.
Maybe try to use that as an excuse for other behaviors that they could be doing and just putting it on you, not knowing the severity of it.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. Yeah. Yeah, so it wasn't nothing there to have a fight or argument. There's like nothing there. Nothing. I never touched nobody. They never touched me. There was nothing there. But it could be any animosity. So that's why to this day I'm still stuck off of why. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why? Why? And it's like, all I can dig into is me being a bad kid. And like you said, they was maybe doing something they didn't want to get discovered for. It was just weird how it went down. It was like, it was like no interaction. It was just my two friends. I can say their names, 'cause I know they are. But I'm not going to bring them in this. But they were the only ones touching the girl.
Like real tears.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it wasn't even no real tears, bro.
I mean, what I mean is,
you know what?
Their eyes were red.
Crocodile tears, bro. Yeah, it was all hands in the face, everything like to make it seem like it's real and it wasn't. Even my friend who came up and said something, they even made him testify. Because he was an athlete. The black guy testified the other black guy. To verify the white guy, that girl was telling the truth. To a guy who never touched none of them. And my one friend that was with us, he literally was messing with the girl already. They was already messing around before anything. And even messed around after it happened.
And
so I'm going through all this.
Messed around is insane to me, brother. They're 11.
But I think they was they were so young. They were like 12.
Yeah.
12. 13 is pushing it. I was in the 7th grade. The 7th grade.
Well, let me not act like I wasn't subjected to these type of things in my environment as far as where I lived, in the environment that I lived in. Not inside my home, but outside of my home. This was kind of the norm for 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds.
What happened, and after the fact, they did send me away. They sent me away to a home for like a whole year. And then they let me come back to school. Then the girls made up even more lies. Since they knew they lied, they didn't want me to be around. They had to look at the guy they lied on. So they was talking about unrassing them. To this day, I still have no idea what the girls looked like, even who they were.
Hold on.
I didn't know them before then, and didn't even know them after either.
Let me interject.
I have no idea who they were, bro.
Before this person gets removed, I want to respond to them. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a brief intermission to speak on the unfairness of domestic violence against men, right? So they realize that he ain't been able to talk because don't nobody want to hear that shit. It's been so long that people say, "Oh, shut up, you lying. Don't know, that ain't happening. They're kids. Kids didn't do that. None of that happened." So you know what? That little boy grows up into an adult and he continues to walk through life with that shit on his shoulders. And he don't tell nobody what he saw. Until it might be too late. Now, he might be overly sexualizing other people. And now he might have issues within himself. Now he might then hurt women, hurt men, did all type of crazy ass shit by now, been to prison, all type of fucked up ass shit, trusted to enjoy life. Let people tell their story. Okay? Let people express how they feel.
Pregnant. I know a 10-year-old that was pregnant.
And just listen.
Facts. I know a 10-year-old that was pregnant. This is a fact. This is a real thing. I know a 10-year-old was pregnant. Like, this stuff really happens when there's nobody supervising children. When you tell them go out the house. When everybody was getting high in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
This is the 80s is going on. This is on the crack epidemic. At its highest in the city.
Yep.
Abandoned buildings. What do you think these kids going to learn how to do? They start sexualizing each other because they're just role playing because what they see.
Good job, Whiskey. That's a good one. Brenda got a baby. Sure. That's a good one.
Facts. This is the 80s. That wasn't no joke. You didn't live through it.
Naive.
I heard somebody say get therapy. You can get therapy. That's good. If therapy can get to you in time.
There you go.
Yeah, but at the time that's going on. If therapy can get to you in time. It doesn't get to everybody in time, man.
But see, my thing is this.
Because they
didn't ask you if you got therapy. They said get therapy. How you know he ain't had it?
Yeah.
You see how we treat each other?
Cool down. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad because it's this thing about men think they can't be sexualized. Some dudes really think they can't. Like, these things are just, all of it influenced my life in certain ways. All of it did. Ain't no kid at my age to have these type of thoughts. A kid at my age should be playing somewhere, having fun, being a kid.
Yep, and that's what feel comfortable enough to come and tell you these things. Tell your children, hey, if you ever see somebody's privates or ever see don't act like they're never going to see it. Treat them like they're going to see it. Tell them if they ever see it, just come tell mommy, come tell daddy, talk to me about it. I want to know if any of your friends ever tell you that they've seen it. Be invested in your child's life. A lot of y'all can't have a successful relationship because y'all ain't even invested in y'all children enough. How you going to be invested in a man or a woman? You ain't even invested in your own self. You shoot down everything that you saw in your childhood and act like it didn't exist. What you think you going to do with your child when you have one? You're going to do the same thing. You're going to be naive to your child too. Tell your children, let me know. Even if it's in sports, let me know that you're seeing people with their shirt off. Let me know. So you can keep track of what your child is seeing. Because these children are already being attacked on social media, on the internet, 24/7. When your children is on Roblox and your children is on these different games, see, you think it is cool because they're talking to other kids, but other kids are talking to adults every day. And what they're hearing from those adults that you don't know that the other kids are talking to. They might be talking about the adult shit to your children behind the scenes. You want to be aware of these things.
Parents go play cards, do drugs, send your kids to run off by themselves and don't have no supervision. Nobody there to say, that's wrong. Don't do that. We had no supervision. We literally, everybody, we had no hours to make money. I'm a kid, young as heck doing all this. Why? Because I've seen adults do it.
Good job, man.
Because I was put in a situation that I asked for. And all I ask people to do is, man, dudes, man, as men, stop feeling like you're weak because you won't tell the truth or say what you're saying. You was confused as a child. You didn't know what you were saying wasn't what you were supposed to say. Right. Some of these dudes became so sexual so quick. That's why you start seeing people having babies at a certain age so bad. Yeah. You see kids start having kids. That's where you think that came from. Yeah. They were sexualized as children. Yeah. Why do you think they just automatically just fell in love and had a baby at 13? No. These are because you're not looking. Yeah. You're not being there as a parent.
That's why some women are tired with some women be 25, 38, and they be like, oh, I'm tired of men. You need to ask her how long she been dealing with men. She might tell you since she was 13. No wonder she tired. No wonder. Children should not be dating. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, you on your own. But under that, they shouldn't be dating. Think about it. Most adults don't even got it all enough to be dating. Just because we have made some things become normal doesn't mean it's okay. We have to deprogram ourselves. We have to. I've been around my nieces and my nephews, and I've heard conversations of other children saying, oh yeah, I got 3 boyfriends, and the mother is laughing and shit. The child is only 10. How the fuck you got 2 boyfriends and you 10? Little girl. And your mama laughing. Oh, well, that's cool. They can be y'all. I ain't gonna say it. But it takes soldiers to stand in front of some of y'all that don't even want to hear us speak. That automatically assume we lying. That treat us like we ain't nothing. When we the ones that are trying to help. Because we know these things need to be heard. And we know these things need to be said. And we know some things need to be done and undone and fixed. And it can happen. And we're not trying to change the world. We're just trying to spread awareness to things that most people shun and don't talk about. That needs to be addressed. So I digress, brother. I believe you were at or wherever you was at, and the girls were crying. They accused you of RAPing them. You admitted that you didn't do it. And what happened after
that? After that, they sent me away, like I told you, for a year. And then when I came back to the school, I told you I was already a menace to them. I was already a bad kid.
You went to juvenile for a year.
School, they sent me to juvenile. They sent me to a boys' home.
A boys' school? Okay.
That's why I was confused. Yeah. You would think somebody would go to juvenile, but no. They didn't send me to juvenile. They sent me away for boys' school, like for a whole year. And I went through it over there because I was a city kid tossing to the countryside. I went to country-ass white people. Mm-hmm. I was like the only black kid. The whole town was white.
So was those charges a juvenile?
No, they didn't. As I said, like it was.
You know how it is when you're an adult. You got a record and people can see the paperwork and stuff. They can look you up. Can they do that when you're in boys' school?
No.
Okay, cool.
It was a situation where it was weird because it really wasn't I was like,
Thank
it really
you,
wasn't
Tony.
even a
I
courtroom.
appreciate
It was just weird. It was just weird how the whole situation went down. And I ended up getting kicked out of school. Like, they never once the girl really came back onto school, I didn't see, I say to this day, I still don't know who the heck the girls are. I have no idea before the situation, and I have no idea who they were after the situation. So, they said I seen them, they said that I was nuisance them in school, but I never seen them. So, they kicked me out permanently. All because they didn't want to sit around and look at a kid they lied on, a black kid. So,
it.
they girls lied on me, got me kicked out. They was white
Young girls.
They was white girls. They was Caucasian white girls. Yeah. I never ever have accused a black woman have never accused me of that. Or no other person till that time. That was like, that's never, typical black kid, white girls. Hanging around with a bunch of two of my friends while they was liking the girls. Me sitting back, taking my butt home, hanging with them. Me already had the bad kid label. Neither one of them went to my school either. Neither of them guys went to my school either. That's the funny thing about it.
So,
neither one of them went to my school.
Brother, this is what I want to say to you. I commend you for having a heart that is pure enough to not even immediately associate the reason why they did it. B would have said, I would have said it's because I'm a nigga. It's because I was black and they was white and that's why they was crying them tears. Whole time, you ain't even trying to even look at it like it could have been that way, brother. That's how, oh man. You ain't even trying to believe that a person could be so closed in and cold hearted that they parents may have forced them into putting RAPE allegations onto you just because of your melanin is melanin.
Yeah, but I said I can't put it on color. I want to, but I really can't. But it was some white girls that did it. That's the crazy part about it. And them two white girls was cutting up the two girls. They was already, and I was like, became the scapegoat of the situation. Without even realizing, I was the youngest, so I was easier to be pointed at. I was already bad as a kid who didn't listen to school.
Listen, those boys,
I was already
if those boys was jealous of you or anything, in any type of way,
no,
or felt like you was a threat,
no,
they could have used, they could have utilized the carings inside of those girls to do what they did.
Yeah, like I said, like, they were still my friends afterwards. They didn't do nothing wrong for me to be, nobody did anything wrong. So I couldn't even get mad at them. I couldn't be like, yo guys, it's your fault. I couldn't. They did nothing. It was that one girl, white girl, who came in and started it.
Did the boys try to defend you? And you know, that's kind of hard for kids to defend other kids when you're a kid. You know, your parent might tell.
Still with the two girls. I didn't think nothing about it. As I said, like, then I walked on and went home.
Yeah, and just because you was sexually active at that time, just like a lot of other kids were, doesn't mean that you are admitting that you were sexually active with them. You said you wasn't sexually active with them at all.
I wasn't at that time. At that time, I wasn't a sexually active kid at that time. I told you, when I was sexually active, I was like 7 years old. By the time I moved with my dad, it ended. By the time I moved with my dad, it was like I wasn't in an environment.
Okay.
By the time my dad was 9. But from there to about when I got my dad at 9 years old, when I got my dad, I was stability. So I wasn't in that environment.
In that environment where the people was being sexual anymore. Okay, good.
Yeah, I told you. I wasn't in that environment no more because my dad took me out of that. So I wasn't around that type of environment. There was no adults, no supervision, no nothing. It was just kids. I couldn't speak up. I'm a kid. I had no idea. And then I got ADD, HD. I got all these other problems I got going on with me too.
You didn't know you could.
No, As soon as I did, I didn't.
It might not have been safe
articulate
to use it.
And that was a big thing too. Safety. But I told you, my story is kind of conflicted because I have all the other things that goes along with these things that happened when I was a kid. Like, you know what I mean? And then as time go on, I find out things that are really like messed up.
Yeah, the cause and effect.
Now at the age of 46. Yeah. And I look at my behavior and why I ended up in the penitentiary and why I ended up in these places. And I really like all my, it's just crazy. It led me down a conscious path of being insecure about myself. But people don't realize when you get sexually assaulted as a kid, you become insecure instantly, man. Insecure.
That right there.
Yeah.
When you finally find out, if you don't know immediately already, but when you find out that it's wrong, and you've been feeling and thinking that it's right because other kids or other people that went through it and they thinking it's okay, that's when it gets real tricky. Because then you got to look at you like, damn, is something wrong with me then?
Yeah. So question you, I tell you,
it
will make you question your sexuality. It will make you question your manhood.
Yeah.
Do you have a hard time identifying with manhood is because you've been through the things you've been through, as I tell you. So then you got toxic men around you. So when you got toxic men around you,
toxic masculinity.
It's hard to have that type of it's hard to have that conversation. You got men who just always on something. You to be a man about it. Don't worry about it. Be a man about it. I watched my mom fight over drugs as a kid. Fight another woman over some hair curlers. I watched some wild stuff in the 80s. That's like, I didn't ask for that stuff. I mean, I got stories that I watched somebody get murdered. Watched somebody get murdered as a kid. Like, that's not cool. This is in the 80s. I watched literally a guy that gave me my first job get murdered. I'm a kid, still from the store. I was a little ass kid, 8 years old, still from the store. Guy gave me a job. Later on, that man get murdered as I'm going home with the groceries in my hand that he gave me because he taught me this. I'm going to tell you a story. I stole from the store when I was a kid, right? I just stole from the store. I didn't have no regulations of what I didn't do. I threw rocks at glass windows. You know what I mean? Like, I was a bad kid because, like, look, I'm going to teach you how to mop my floor and sweep my floor. And I'll give you some hoagies and some sodas you can take home to your brother. It's a real thing that happened. So that's what I taught. He told me he's going to help me, show me how to cut the meat and be hoagies. This is an 8-year-old kid. Not 10, not 9, 8-year-old kid. So one day, I'm in there doing that in the shop. And one day, these guys come in. He gave my food. I took my bag. He told me, I'll see you tomorrow. I grab my stuff. I go out the door. And as I'm going out, there's some arguments. Next minute, I'm crossing the street, and my boss runs out the door, and some guys chase after me and guns him down while I'm walking with the hoagies to my little brothers. I'm watching the guy who gave me the job get gunned down right in front of me as he's screaming help.
And you're not the only one watching it. You're in the process of this, but when you or the other children were addressed by any officials or any type of therapy suggested of any kind, like any type of help or
no.
None.
I didn't get that. I didn't get no therapy until I was my dad didn't know about it. You know what I mean? I'm a kid. So my dad didn't know all this was going on. I told you.
So you were just feeling like,
no
hey,
idea.
This is what goes on. I hear about it all the time. I'm just now seeing it now, so oh well. I don't want to worry my dad. I ain't going to tell him I seen it. He might not even care because he don't ask me what I see when I leave the home anyway.
So my dad asked me, you know what I mean, have adult ever touched you or these things? And I told him. And my dad was shocked when I told him. And The crazy part about it, while me and my dad went to toe, because the same person who molested me had the same name as my father's middle name. So that was another psychologically thing as a kid that was damaging me. So automatically made me and my dad's relationship awkward. Very awkward. So it was hard for me to have a bond with my father because of that middle name. So even going to therapy as a kid, yeah, it was good to talk about it. He used to have group therapy with other kids who've been through it. So it was good to talk about it and say it helped me out a lot. But because of it, already changed my mind of who I was. So regardless of how much therapy I took, my mentality was already set.
It don't even exist. But whole time, our actions is doing something that stemmed from it, that's messed up, that we shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. It was like it became normalized. The drama became normalized in my head. So it was already set. My mind was already set. I was a wild kid. My dad thought whipping my ass would help out. And I tell people, man, whipping ass is not to help out. It just hardened me, man. That's all it did. My dad whipped my ass, did nothing but harden me. It did not make me It
got you accustomed to pain.
I was already used to getting my ass whipped by strangers that wasn't my father before my dad came in my life. I was already getting ass whippings. I remember this guy was hitting me. My mom was talking to some dude, wasn't even with him. Dude beat me so bad. No, yeah. So like I'm talking about my back looked like I was a slave. I had to take my shirt off when I got to the suburbs. And I had to get the physicals to take my shirt off. They used to see that and the white ladies would cry. That's how bad my back was messed up. The white women, people would cry when I took my shirt off. The women really would cry. They would cry. They were looking at a little boy with a messed up back, who walks on his back. I got hit with a cast. So I got beat with a cast. All I did was harm me, where it was not my life was destined to a prison cell after that.
And then you get
insecurity.
You get it from a stranger.
Put icing on my cake.
It's fuck love.
I gotta put this ice on the cake.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but let me get the ice on the cake, bro. My father wasn't, he wasn't treated right as a kid. You know what I mean? He had the mother and he had the father, but he was a light-skinned kid. He was a dark-skinned kid versus a bunch of light-skinned babies. And you know at that time, people had that paper bag mentality, light-skinned versus dark-skinned. My dad, I don't got no pictures of my dad with his uncles, his sisters and brothers as kids. None. But he grew up with them. But there's no pictures of him with them. It's like they're all these light-skinned kids, and my dad's somewhere in the corner. And this was going on then. So my father didn't know how to be his father, because his father was whipping his ass. I'm not saying my dad was perfect, but my dad was not raised in a loving home. And he was getting his ass whipped now by the dad, who didn't get his ass, he didn't get treated right. So it's a bunch of ass whipping heavens. It didn't stop me. Ass whipping didn't stop me from doing shit. So if you were talking about ass whippings work, no they don't. No they don't. Whipping your ass, your kid's ass don't. It makes them harden. But it prepares them for prison cells.
It prepares
That's
you
a lot
to
of dudes
think
got to
that it's working, and it's gonna cause your child to grow up and do the same thing to their child. And my thing is this: it's happening right now, right? You'll go to jail.
Yeah.
That shit that our grandparents was doing to our parents, and that our great grandparents was doing to our grandparents, and then our grandparents did it to our parents, and now when we're parents and we do it, whole time it's a cycle that's been passed. These parents can't do it at all. You're going to jail. You're gonna go to jail. Your kid go to school with a black eye. You can say you disciplining your kid all you want. it's always going to be that one person that's going to utilize the law to get your kid took from you. It's sad because even though our parents didn't teach us no other way, a lot of us parents didn't teach us no other way. We got the tools to figure out another way.
Violence, bro.
We got the tools that our parents didn't have to figure out another way. You can ask.
Right.
You can ask Google now.
It's time, man.
You can ask Google now. Can you give me 10 ways to discipline my child without physically harming them? Or go to get other ideas.
That's why I stopped. That's why if I passed it on to me whip my kids' ass. When my kids got to a certain level, when they was about, I think it was my daughter was about 6 years, 7 years old, 8 years old. I think about 7, 8 years old when I totally stopped. I told her like what I'm doing. I'm just passing on the same thing that my dad passed on.
Good job, brother.
And I was like, I'm done. I'm never
you broke the cycle.
I tell my kids I was sorry.
There you go. There you go.
I tell I ain't never gonna do that. I'll never. To this day, I don't beat my grandkids. I don't do none of that stuff, man. I can control. It's like I outsmart my kids, my grandkids. I don't have to beat them to get their attention. I know how to outsmart them.
Mm-hmm. So and it takes time to do that. That's why it takes two. That's why it takes a village.
You want to outsmart your kid, but that takes time.
They do.
But you can outsmart your kid.
You got to make the time.
You outsmart them.
If you don't want to be beating them,
you can manipulate them.
If you want to break that cycle, you got to make that time.
Yeah, just whipping their ass ain't working out. It's just that ain't the way. That is not the way. Them doesn't work.
From pain that they may not be caused by. That may not be caused by anyone outside of you. And see, this is the thing. What happens is, when some of these men, when some of these men are younger and they've been beat by their mothers specifically, and they get around women that claim they love them, she exhibits the same type of love that his mother gives. She yells at him. She curses at him. When she's really, really angry, she hits him. You think that man is going to hit this woman back? No. He ain't hit his mother back. He knew better. But do you think he's going to leave her? Probably not. He didn't run away from his mama when she beat his ass. And came back and said, son, you deserved it. Do you know how many women I hear when I ask them, have you ever physically harmed a man out of anger? And they say, yeah, he pissed me off. What, did he hit you? Nah, he ain't hit me. He just pissed me off. He deserved it. It's to the point now where when I ask these men, a lot of these men stop me and say, look, she hit me with a skillet, bro. But I deserved it because I made her upset. Well, damn, did you hit her? No, I ain't hit. Take abuse from women that he thinks love them. That tells him that they love him.
It's a false. A lot of people love their mom, but they don't respect their mom, and that's a problem. You could love your mom, but you don't respect your mom, the way she walking, the way she treating, her tenderness. Then you don't respect her. Then you gonna your life for another female would predict the same thing. It'd be an abusive relationship. That's what end up in. Why? Because it's what you're saying. If mom by herself, you see how mom act.
Or, how about this?
You're not going to be subject to that?
The flip side of it, brother. Let's go to the flip side of it. You got one boy that, ladies, you might not even be understanding how he's taking it. When you whooping his ass and thinking that you got to do what you got to do because you a mother and you got to whoop his ass because he ain't going to respect you. Destroy you, shorty.
The not respecting women and not trusting women, it comes from her mom. If you start to, if you don't trust your own mama, what do you think you're going to trust a woman when you see a mama doing devious shit to men? If you see a mama doing devious things, you're like, man, I don't trust no woman. I know how my mom do.
Yep.
So you grow up with instantly teaching your kid to not to trust women.
And that's why
because you're the only woman in his life
complete
they'll
each
trust
other
you.
when they're good for one another. A man is supposed to be in place with the woman so a woman can tap into her femininity in a safe environment. So she can whisper to the boys instead of growling at them like she's an animal. Men, we're the one that growl. You know, we like doing that. It feels good.
Yeah.
But when a woman is doing it, a lot of women don't want to be ready to cry when y'all take a doodle and all type of shit. Like, be honest. This stuff ain't for y'all. Y'all make it be for y'all, but it's not for y'all. It's not. And what you're doing is, you will be getting your children used to dealing with a woman that is like that. They're going to go and date women that are like that and that treat them like that because they think that that's what love is, and it's not. It's what you've been taught.
I'll give a prime example. I'm going to show you a prime example of behavior.
Look, I'm going to let you have a floor real quick. I'm listening though. I got you.
I'm going to tell you some celebrity stuff that you can see. Brown was raised by a single mother. And we know one thing that women hate to do. A lot of women don't take account. And you know, you see parents yelling and screaming at them. Oh man, I can't stand that, man. I hate when kids get screamed at, no matter what their age is. Yeah, but to my story, to some of y'all that might have thought I was lying or this and that, no, that really happened. That really happened to me. And it didn't make me hate women. And it didn't make me racist either. It didn't make me racist, it didn't make me hate women. As I got older, I realized it was just the environment I was in. I didn't have safety net. I was a kid running wild. So no, I mean, it didn't make me turn me into hating white people, or it didn't make me hate women. It didn't make me blame women. I've never blamed women for this and nah. I just accept. It became something they ain't either. I have a few other ones that ain't so good that happened. A few other situations that didn't happen so good. But no, I don't. That situation was a learning lesson. It was a learning lesson. You really gotta. As a kid, them lessons I didn't get. I mean, some people get lucky. Some people get a chance to, get help before they see prison, before the anger and stuff. But a lot of men just don't want to tell these stories because it's like an honor. It's like an honor thing. It's the reason why guys don't want to come forward like, yo, I don't know why I had a buddy, man, who cheated on his woman and woke up with a dagger in the middle of his forehead. A knife in the middle of his forehead. Whew. Think about that. In the middle of his forehead. He had never beat her up or put hands on her or nothing. He had never did nothing to her.
She
tell me that. Just ate it.
Walking around knowing that she done stabbed the man in the head. And ain't nothing happened to her. That's a bad jammer, ain't it? Oh, she a bad jammer.
She bad. He ate it and walk around. I'd be like, bro, I don't know how you could have did it, bro.
I'm talking about her, not you.
She was wilding. She was wilding when she did that.
Yeah, because think about what that does to a person's ego, knowing that they got away with this. And see, this is why bringing awareness to it is good, but at the same time, it can be dangerous. You know why? Because I'm seeing some of these women when they seeing that these things are happening to men, and they see. I hope y'all heard what I said. People that are destructive to nature and don't have any empathy and sympathy for nature do not need to be in a relationship with anyone. There's a way, many ways, as a matter of fact, to figure out when a person don't care about nature. If they don't care about what the Most High put on this earth, what makes you think they care about you? What makes you think they're going to treat you right? I'm going to be honest with y'all. What do you start doing? Taking his frustrations out on nature. Look what he did when he even got close to relationships. Start asking these men and these women what they feel about nature. Do they respect nature? Every time they see an insect, are they quick to kill it? Oh, this gotta die. I gotta kill the spider. I gotta kill it. Kill it now. Are they kill? See, it be small things. Sometimes. What up, Cheddar? It be small things. You might have to screen yourself to figure out that you've been passed down a whole lot of bullshit from your inner childhood. From your parents or your uncles, nephews, nieces, because some of us got nieces and nephews that are the same age as us. Or older. You gotta ask these questions. You gotta ask these individuals, hey, can you name 3 things that'll cause you to be physically violent with someone? Pay attention to what they say. Pay attention to what they say. Some people might say, if I feel like you playing on my time, playing in my face, lying to me, doing anything like that, if you hurt, some people are bold enough to say, if you hurt my feelings, which means anything, shit, you don't know who. I mean, you don't know. You just now getting caught or just now doing what causes them to be violent. But you could have figured that out by asking them a simple question at the beginning of your dating process, or just at the beginning of y'all being friends. Some people spend so much time being in love that they don't even know who they in love with. What I just say? Hold on. What I just say? Some people spend so much time being in love that they don't even know. Do you understand their thought process? Do you know their traumas? Do you know their triggers? Do this person even know their triggers themselves? Do they know what their traumas are? Do they know what trauma is? Do they believe in therapy? Any man or woman that is scared of therapy will be scared of you. You're a therapist too. Everything that a therapist do lies within you as a partner. So if that person you're with despises therapy, they despise you. It kind of makes sense now, don't it?
Go and subscribe to YouTube channel for full episodes. Link and description is in bio.